The Premier League's title race is on fire, with Liverpool splashing €500 million on superstars, Chelsea fresh off a Club World Cup win, and Arsenal hungry after 3 runner-up finishes. But could a Leicester-like underdog crash the party? Stick around, because by point 3, you won't want to miss the twist we reveal. Liverpool's €500 million spree brought in Isaac and Wirtz to pair with Salah, creating one of the most dangerous attacks in Europe. But stacking talent doesn't guarantee success. Just look at Chelsea's past experiments. The team chemistry will take time to develop, and if it doesn't click quickly, we could see frustration grow in a squad full of players used to being the main option. Salah is adapting to a deeper creative role, Isaac demands service in the box, and Wirtz thrives as a free-roaming playmaker. How Arne Slot balances these egos will determine if Liverpool dominate or implode. Chelsea's Club World Cup win proved they can compete at the highest level, but their heavy attacking focus leaves gaps defensively. Maresca's tactical flexibility, it helped them adjust mid-game during the tournament, switching from a 4-3-3 to a back 5 when needed. Yet, fatigue could be the problem. Competing in Europe, the league, and domestic cups means injuries might thin out an already stretched defense. Manchester City lost Rodri for 3 months last season, exposing their reliance on him. Their response? Reinforcements in midfield, including a young Argentine playmaker and a box-to-box Dutch disruptor. Guardiola's rebuilds are never quiet, they're aggressive and decisive. The question is whether their new signings can adapt as quickly as Rodri and Haaland did when they arrived. Arsenal's Spanish core, Zubimendi, Norgard and Gabriel, gives them control in midfield and solidity at the back. Madueke proves much-needed backup for Saka, something they lacked in past campaigns. These aren't flashy marquee signings, they're calculated moves to fix specific weaknesses. Arteta's side no longer collapses under pressure. Now they need to turn consistency into trophies. Manchester United's Ruben Amorim ditched his 4-2-3-1 for a 3-4-2-1 with 2 roaming 10s. Baleba, their midfield signing, is the key. His ability to break up play and launch attacks fits Amorim's system perfectly. But will United's defense hold up with just 3 at the back against elite wingers? Tottenham's Thomas Frank demands a squad with no egos. He transformed Brentford by maximising players who bought into his philosophy. Now he's doing the same at Spurs, focusing on versatility and work rate over star power. Will his methods translate to a bigger club with higher expectations? The Big Six spent big, but spending doesn't always equal success. A single injury, a locker room clash, or a tactical misstep could undo millions in investment. And if one of them stumbles, who's ready to take their place? Leicester's 2016 title win wasn't magic. It was a perfect storm of smart recruiting, tactical discipline, and players hitting career best form. They spent just £54 million that season, less than some clubs pay for one player today. Claudio Ranieri built a compact 4-4-2 that soaked up pressure and released Vardy on counters, while Conte covered more ground than any other midfielder in the league. But the real lesson was how they avoided injuries. Leicester used only 23 players all season, the fewest in the league. That consistency became their advantage. Fast forward to 2026, and the financial gap has widened. The Big Six now outspend the rest combined, making another Leicester seem impossible. Yet, Newcastle might have the blueprint. They've focused on versatile players like Bruno from Brazil, who can play across the front 3, and a mobile central midfielder who creates chances. Their transfers, they're not blockbusters, but every signing fits a specific need. Under Eddie Howe, they're developing a pressing system that disrupts bigger teams, proving they can compete without matching spending power. Brighton keeps finding gems before anyone else. Their scouting network identified a winger from the Belgian league who now leads the team in assists, and a defender who was playing in Argentina 2 years ago. Roberto De Zerbi's tactics make them unpredictable. They'll switch from possession to direct attacks mid-game, keeping opponents guessing. Aston Villa, meanwhile, used their Europa Conference League run to build depth. Their squad now handles multiple competitions without dropping off, and their striker has developed into one of the league's most clinical finishers. Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth fly under the radar, but their progress is real. Forest signed a midfield playmaker from France who dictates tempo, while Bournemouth's young goalkeeper has the highest save percentage outside the top 6. These teams won't challenge for the title, but they're proof that smart recruitment can close the gap on bigger clubs. So, who could pull off a Leicester in 2026? Newcastle and Brighton have the best balance of tactical identity and squad depth, but it would take a perfect season, no major injuries, a big team collapsing, and a striker having the year of his life. Those are long odds, but we've seen it happen before. What's stopping it from happening again? Liverpool's €500 million spending spree would have covered Leicester's entire 2016 operation nearly 10 times over. But money alone doesn't win titles. Leicester proved that by focusing on tactical cohesion, fitness, and maximizing player strengths. The 2026 season will test whether financial power or smart management matters more. Manchester City's struggles without Rodri showed how one injury can derail even the deepest squad, while Arsenal's Spanish midfield core demonstrates how tactical identity can compensate for slightly smaller budgets. The balance leans toward money, but history suggests surprises happen when teams find the right formula. Squad depth often decides tight races. City's Rodri's absence cost them points last season because no backup could replicate his dual role as destroyer and playmaker. Liverpool addressed this by signing 2 midfielders this summer, but integrating them risks disrupting their rhythm. Chelsea's ability to rotate without dropping quality gives them an edge, though their defense remains thin. Meanwhile, Newcastle's recruitment of multifunctional players like Bruno Guimaraes allows them to adapt to injuries better than most mid-table sides. The team that avoids a crisis, or better manages one, likely stays in contention. Managers will shape this race as much as star players. Amorim's 3-4-2-1 at Manchester United relies on midfield mobility, requiring new potential signing, Baleba or Bruno Fernandes, to cover enormous ground. One misstep in recruitment and the system collapses. Maresca's Chelsea thrives on in-game adjustments, but overcomplicating tactics cost them against compact defenses last year. Thomas Frank excels at improving players, yet Spurs fans demand immediate results. And Guardiola always evolves. His hybrid midfield forward role for Bernardo Silva last season unlocked new attacking patterns. The best tactical mind, not just the biggest wallet, could clinch it. The schedule offers hidden advantages. Early clashes between Big Six teams create openings. If Liverpool faces Arsenal and City in consecutive weeks, fatigue or dropped points could let an underdog close the gap. Newcastle's favourable December run last year propelled them into Europe. A similar stretch in 2026 might keep them in the conversation longer than expected. The team that capitalizes on these moments, like Leicester did with late winners in 2016, could defy the odds. So, does tradition hold, or does another shock emerge? The Big Six have resources no one else can match, but football rarely follows scripts. One injury, one tactical masterclass, or one underdog going on a streak could change everything. The only certainty? Whoever lifts the trophy will have earned it. The 2026 Premier League title could hinge on one decisive moment, a late winner, a shock injury, or a tactical gamble that changes everything. The Big Six have stacked their squads, but Leicester proved money doesn't always decide championships. Newcastle's smart recruitment or Brighton's shrewd coaching could exploit any slip-up from the Giants. Manchester United's new system might click perfectly, or Liverpool's expensive attack could stall under pressure. History shows surprises happen when expectations are highest. So, who takes it? A favourite finally delivering, or an outsider rewriting the script? Drop your prediction below. Let's see who gets it right.